Morning. Today is Thursday, July 9th. But whenever this reading finds you, you are meant to hear it. Like, share, subscribe. It will be on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Any interaction with the reading, and this is a reading for the collective, gets it out to the collective. Oh, definitely comment on your experiences. Share this to somebody who you feel might you want to directly make sure they get it. And if you want your own private reading, you can direct message me on any of those platforms. I'm happy to do something for you. First card coming out, Six of Swords. Oh, by the way, this is the Constellation Tarot by Iryna Semenova. Second one, Knight of Swords. Here together. Oh, nice. We have Pavo and the Sun. I'm not familiar with Pavo. Let me look that up really quickly. And every tarot deck, sometimes the tarot decks can put the major arcanas a little differently. The Tower. Okay, so the Tower and the Sun. Interesting. Okay. In Greek mythology, Hera was the queen goddess whose sacred bird was a peacock. Hera suspected that her husband Zeus was unfaithful to her and asked the giant named Argus to watch him. Argus had 100 eyes and watched as Zeus took the nymph as his lover. When Zeus discovered that they were being watched, he had the giant killed. Hera, hurt by her husband's betrayal and distraught after Argus's death, scattered the eyes of the giant all over the tail of her favorite peacock for his eternal memory. So, really some interesting cards. We have two swords, Six of Swords and the Knight of Swords, and then we have the Sun and the Tower that have come up. So these are two minor arcana and two major arcana. The major arcanas have been showing up in every single reading. So these major themes that are coming up, these big themes that feel like, you know, they're continually in your face. Yeah. They're there for a reason, and it's time for major change. With the Six of Swords coming up, that would definitely mean, you know, strategizing about a move to a different location, conditions changing. That came up yesterday. I can't remember which card, but go back and look at yesterday's reading. So our ideas that are, we're coming up with ideas about how to change the situation, what we need to do, how we need to strategize that, what kind of communication, what kind of logic, how we, watching the mind patterns about, the ways that we do want to maybe go and pursue the truth. This is pursuit of truth. This is truth. This is illumination. This is truth. This is illumination. So, the things that are maybe coming up are not to be ignored. In a separate reading, the Judgment card came up again. That awakening that we keep getting is, there are things that we just simply can't ignore anymore. And so doing things in the same way, thinking about things in the same way, we're definitely moving somewhere else to to get new to work with new coming up with new ideologies, new mental constructs, mental frameworks of how we want to perceive things, how we want to communicate, and who we want to communicate with. Definitely, pack, some kind of and putting things on the shelf. If you're going to take some kind of a trip, a knight's not going to be able to go with, off and do the work that he needs to do with a bunch of baggage. So, it's time to make some decisions about what stays and what goes in terms of wherever it is that you're moving forward, however it is that you're moving forward. Um, the and some things have maybe already fallen away, but the illumination of the sun is here to just again, shine the way forward, to invite trust, to invite warmth, to invite joy into wherever it is that you are going forward. When the tower shows up, that's, divine timing has been involved in that. This is actually, again, divinely sanctioned, so it's nothing that we you know things are being burnt away, and more usually this card comes up as, flames. It's not like that here, but with it being a peacock, again, how can we also, even though something is passing away, something that was a favorite of that goddess Hera, she that was something that came up yesterday in my meditations. How do we, how do we dignify the things that we are moving to the side and moving away from? Whenever we have some type of a funeral, no matter where it is on the planet, typically how do we dignify what has passed, what has been, in a way that is chivalrous? What kind of chivalry, what kind of, altruism that came up, what kind of good feelings can we do in order to, and then you think about like the Viking traditions of, sending things along in their boat to wherever they were. How can we dignify, how can we bless those former situations and, shine the light of love and illuminate and love the things as we are saying goodbye to them? Because I think that's really important. We can't, it is important to use our swords to say, I'm cutting this off and I'm doing it with grace. And that's not easy. We're learning how to do that, I think, as a human species. We've been learning to do that since Christ walked the earth, 2,000 years ago. New way of consciousness, right? What's the message from the How to Be a Wildflower deck? The minimum loving gesture is to give something dignity. Not in this deck. It was said by, in a sermon actually, on Pride Day. The minimum loving gesture is to give something dignity. Gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. This card has come up for us. That's from Proverbs. So there's that. Bat, smile, breathe, and go slowly. That one's also coming up. I'll pull one from the crystals deck as well. One of my crystals deck. Not the This is the crystal that can support us. Okay. Blue calcite. Yeah, people who who needs it? People who stare up at the ceiling worrying about the future at 3 a.m. Stalactite is also coming up. So here's the two. Put it on your bedside table. Act on your dreams. Be the dream person that you want to be. Act on who you want to be. Go for what you want without apology and go with dignity. Yeah, dive into both of these are dreams. Up all night worrying about the coming singularity types. Brave explorers of beautiful dreamscapes. When to use it? When it's time to take your sleep hygiene to the next level, or put down your phone, or pick up a book or a paper book. Sip chamomile tea, slather on the lavender oil, and wait for some rapid eye movement and those dreamy messages. So yeah, this is a time for definitely, yeah, deadlines aren't death sentences. Stress will extinguish your creativity and crush your dreams if you let it. Call on the calming, focused energy of blue calcite to remind you to put stress in its place, far away from the joy of the process and the delight of dreaming big. So that's the other thing is, this stuff might be causing a lot of stress because things are passing by or passing away, but you're moving on to something else. Like the assumption that we're just moving into the void can feel, yeah. So that's a lot of that is, it brings up this kind of like grieving, right? But then, because I think we don't have a great relationship with our comfortable relationship with death, or and how normal it is. When things end in our world, we hold on to them unnecessarily because we don't really we feel like we're dying. We're not. We're actually moving on to something else, just like in a death process. So that came up like with the Vikings and whatnot. Like, how do we dignify things that are, let's find the way to dignify what has been in order to let down the stress of all of that and to be open to the creativity of what is and to participate creatively with what is coming, and not in a way that's ignores what has been, but it includes and is open for more. So anyway, I guess I should leave it at that. Let me know again, like, share, subscribe, do all the things, and we'll talk soon.